ठीक है, ओके। अब जाओ जाओ। Okay, welcome to Bajirao IAS Academy. This is Anil Sharma, a faculty of history. So today I'm going to deliver a demo lecture on history. Okay, so let us understand about history. So in order to study history, history is basically divided into three main parts. That is prehistory, proto-history and history. So from these three terms, UPSC sometimes asks questions. So this is very important for you to know about these three terms in history. Okay, so let us understand the categorization of history. Okay, so the history is divided basically history. So history is basically divided into three main parts. Okay, one is prehistory, second is proto-history, third is history. So in order to study history, history is basically divided into three main parts: prehistory, proto-history and history. And UPSC sometimes asks question from pre, proto and history from these three terms. Okay, so let us understand one by one all the three terms used in history. Okay, so first let us understand about prehistory. So what is prehistory? Okay, so here prehistory. What is prehistory? So prehistory is the period where we do not find any written records. Okay, now the question arises, if we don't have any written records, then how can we come to know the history of that time? Okay, so we come to know the history of that time on the basis of materials used by early man, and those materials have been discovered by archaeologists who are the member of ASI department India. Okay, so archaeologists carry out the digging of the earth and then find the old things and then study those old things, and then finally history is written. Okay, so prehistory is what? Prehistory is the time period when we do not have any written records, first thing. And the second thing is, if we don't have any written records, then how can we come to know the history of that period? So we come to know the history of that period on the basis of the materials used by them. Materials like cloths, materials like the eatable foods, materials like their skeletons. So all these are the materials used by the primitive man, used by the early man. So those materials have been found in the excavation of archaeologists. Okay, so after studying those materials, we just roughly make the history. Okay, so in prehistory you can write minimum 2 points. Okay, minimum 2 points. And the first point is what? The first point is what? That written records are not available. Written records are not available, right? So prehistory is the history where we do not have any written records. Written records are not available. This is your first point you must write in prehistory. Now the second point is, if we don't have any written records, then how can we come to know the history of that period? So we come to know the history of that period on the basis of materials found in excavation. Okay, so we come to know we come to know the history of that period on the basis of materials found in archaeologist excavation. Found in archaeologist excavations. Okay, so prehistory is what? Prehistory is the history when written records are not available, first thing. And the second thing, if written records are not available, then how we come to know the history of that period? So we come to know the history of that period on the basis of materials found in archaeologist excavations. So archaeologists, the team of archaeologists carry out the digging of the earth. The materials are collected and then those materials are researched, those materials are studied, and after studying, history is presented. Okay, so in this way we can come to know the history of that period. Okay, now example. So in history, three periods are there. Those are included in prehistory. In history, three periods are there. And they are included in prehistory. Okay, so the first period is Stone Age. First period is Stone Age. Okay, Stone Age. And the second period is Chalcolithic Age. Chalcolithic Age. This Chalcolithic Age is also called as Copper Stone Age. Copper Stone Age. Copper Stone Age. And third period is Iron Age. Iron Age. Okay, Iron Age. So written records are not available. We come to know the history of that period on the basis of materials found in archaeologist excavations. and three periods in history are included in prehistory. First period is Stone Age. In this period, maximum stone were used for making the tools. In Stone Age, maximum stones were used for making the tools, so that is why the period was called as Stone Age culture. So the written records related to this Stone Age is not available to us, so that is why Stone Age culture is included in prehistory. Okay. Second is Chalcolithic Age. At the end of this Stone Age, people found one metal, and that metal is copper. So along with stone, copper was also used. So the period was called as Chalcolithic Age. So Chalcolithic Age means the period when copper and stone both were used for making tools. Okay, the period was called as Chalcolithic Age. So related to this Chalcolithic Age, we don't have any written records. So that is why Chalcolithic Age is also included in prehistory. Third is Iron Age. So later on in history, people found one hard metal, and that hard metal was iron. So from there, one new age started, and that new age was Iron Age. So related to this Iron Age, we don't have any written records. So that is why Iron Age is also included in prehistory. Okay. So prehistory is what? Prehistory is what? Prehistory is the time period of history where we do not have any written records. So written records are not available. Second thing, we come to know the history of that period on the basis of materials found in archaeologist excavation. And for an example, you can take Stone Age culture, Chalcolithic Age, Iron Age. All these periods of history are included in prehistory. Okay. So in example, you can write what? Stone Age, Chalcolithic Age, and Iron Age. In example, you can take Stone Age, Chalcolithic Age, and Iron Age. Okay, Iron Age. So this is what prehistory is. Okay, so prehistory is what? Written records are not available. First thing. Second is, if written records are not available, then how can we come to know the history of that period? So we come to know the history of that period on the basis of materials found in archaeologist excavations. And in example, you can take Stone Age culture, Chalcolithic Age, Iron Age. All these periods are included in prehistory. So this is your first term. Okay, completed now. Now let's move to the second term, and that is proto-history. So now let us understand what is proto-history. Okay, so I just delete it. Now the next is proto-history. Next is proto-history. Okay. Next is proto-history. History is divided into three main parts. First is prehistory, second is proto-history, third is history. We have already completed prehistory. Now understand what is pro-history. Okay, so let us understand proto-history. So what is proto-history? So proto-history is the time period of history where we actually have the written records. We have written records, but the script used in that written records we are not able to understand. So that period is called as proto-history. So what you can write in proto-history? You can write first point in proto-history that written records are available. In prehistory you studied that written records are not available. Okay, but here in proto-history written records are available, but the script that has been used in written records, that script we are not able to understand. Okay, so written records are available, but the script has not been deciphered. Has not been deciphered. This is very important term, deciphered, because UPSC whenever asked question from this proto-history, UPSC use this term deciphered. So what is the meaning of this deciphered? So deciphered means we are not able to understand. Okay, so written records are available, but the script has not been deciphered. So deciphered here means not able to understand, not able to understand, not able to understand. Okay, written records are available, but the script has not been deciphered. Okay, deciphered means not able to understand. Okay, so in history there is one period. Okay, there is one period. So related to that period we have written records, but still today we are not able to understand the script used in that written records. Okay, so what is that period in history? So in history the first civilization is IVC, Indus Valley Civilization. The first civilization is Indus Valley Civilization. India's first civilization is Indus Valley Civilization. Okay, and this Indus Valley Civilization is also known by another name as Harappan Civilization. Harappan Civilization. So don't confuse here. India's first civilization is Indus Valley Civilization, and Indus Valley Civilization is also known as Harappan Civilization because some part of this civilization have been discovered from Indus Valley, and some part of this civilization have been discovered from Harappa, which is in Punjab, Pakistan. The Punjab, which is located in Pakistan. So in that place in Punjab there is one place Harappa. So some part of this civilization have been discovered from the place of Harappa in Punjab, Pakistan. So that is why Indus Valley civilization is also known as Harappan civilization. Okay, so India's first civilization is Indus Valley civilization, or you can say Harappan civilization. Okay, so related to this Indus Valley civilization or Harappan civilization, we have written records. Okay, we have written records, but even today we are not able to understand the script used in written records related to this Indus Valley civilization. Okay, so this Indus Valley civilization is included in proto history. Okay, so here in example you can take Indus Valley civilization. Indus Valley civilization. Indus Valley civilization. Okay, so now I have completed your two terms. First, prehistory I have already completed. Second, proto history. So this proto history I have completed here. Okay, so what you can say in proto history? So in proto history you can say that written records are available, but the script used in this written records we are not able to understand. Okay, so written records are available, but the script has not been deciphered so far. Okay, the script has not been deciphered so far, or decipher here means not able to understand, and Indus Valley civilization falls under proto history. Okay, so this is your second term used in history. Now let us understand the third term used in history, and the third term is history. Okay, history, which you call history. Here we will understand, okay, about history, from which period the history exactly started. Okay, now the third is what? Third is history. Okay, so I have explained to you that history is divided into three main parts. First is prehistory. I have already told about prehistory. Second, proto history. I just finished with proto history. Now the third is history. Okay, so what you can write in history? So history means the time period where we have written records. History starts from where, when we have written records. History starts where we have written records. Okay, and the script used in that written records we are able to understand. Okay, so here in history you can write 2 points. First is what? That written records are available. Okay, first thing related to this history is that written records are available. Okay, second, the script used in this written records have been deciphered. The script have also been deciphered. The script has also been deciphered. Deciphered means make script has also been deciphered means made. Decipher means make readable. So the script has also been made readable. Okay, so made readable. Okay, so history starts where when we have written records available, the script has also been deciphered. Okay, script has also been deciphered. So in example you can say what? That historical activities after 6th century BC is included in history. Okay, so in history the activities performed by primitive man, so those activities started after 6th century BC. Your actual history starts from there. Because after 6th century BC the written records that we have, okay, the script has been deciphered, the script has been made readable, so we have understood everything. So the records that we have after 6th century BC, we are able to understand those records. So that is why your history actually starts after 6th century BC. Okay, so after 6th century, which period is started in history? So after 6th century, okay, 6th century, in 6th century BC, Magadha Empire. We will study later in our history about this Magadha Empire. So Magadha Empire. Okay, so in history, in 6th century BC, okay, Magadha Empire started. Magadha Empire started in Bihar, in the state Bihar, in the capital city of Patna. So we will understand it in our syllabus later on. Okay, so in 6th century BC Magadha Empire started, and after this Magadha Empire, Maurya Empire started. Okay, so Maurya Empire was built by Chandragupta Maurya, the first king of this Maurya Empire. So after this Magadha Empire, Maurya Empire. Okay, after this Magadha Empire, the next empire, Maurya Empire, is started. So here historical activities after 6th century BC is included in the history. Means your history starts exactly after 6th century BC. So in 6th century we have Magadha Empire. Okay, and after 6th century we have Maurya Empire. After 6th century we have Maurya Empire. So your history exactly starts with this Maurya Empire. Okay, so your history So your history exactly starts with this Maurya Empire. So when the Maurya Empire was going on in India, so related to this Maurya Empire, we have so many written records available, and the script has also been deciphered. So that is why we clearly understand our history. So with this Maurya Empire, your history exactly starts. Okay, so history started with Maurya Empire. Maurya Empire. Okay. So now I am done with this history also. Okay. So so far I have covered with three terms of history: prehistory, proto-history, and history. Okay. So history is divided into three main parts. First is prehistory, second is proto-history, and third is history. Okay, so we have covered all the three terms in history. Now move to the next topic in history. Next is next is Stone Age. So Stone Age is included in prehistory. So prehistory, proto-history, history, all these are the part of your history syllabus. Okay. So the first chapter of your history starts with this Stone Age. Okay. So in India, Stone Age came, and your history starts with this Stone Age. Okay. Now how you can say, do you have any evidence, or how you can say that Stone Age culture came in India? Okay. So now here we will understand that how can we say that stone age has ever appeared in India. Okay. So related to this Stone Age, we have so many evidences, but here I will write on the board two main evidence on the basis of which you can say that yes, Stone Age appeared in India. Okay. So here the first evidence, here we have the first evidence. And what is that evidence? That archaeological site of Bori, Pune district, Maharashtra. Okay. So as you know that Maharashtra is a state of India. So in the state of Maharashtra, there is one city, and the name of the city is Pune. Pune. The name of the city is Pune. So in that Pune district, archaeologists discovered one historical site, and that historical site is Bori, Bori. Okay. So we have the site of Bori in Pune district in Maharashtra. So from that site of Bori, we have found some evidence, okay, some evidence, and on the basis of those evidence, you can say that Stone Age culture appeared in India. Okay. So here evidence. Here evidence. Okay, so in evidence you can say what? Archaeological site of Bori, Pune district, Maharashtra. Okay, so Stone Age culture appeared in India. Do you have any evidence? You can say that Stone Age culture appeared in India. So here we have two evidence. So many. Actually, we have so many evidences, but here I will write two evidence. Okay. So with those evidence, you can say that Stone Age culture appeared in India. Okay. So here in evidence, the first evidence is archaeological site of Bori, Pune district, Maharashtra. So in the state of Maharashtra, there is one city, Pune district, and in the city of Pune district, there is one site, and the name of the site is Bori. So from the site of Bori, we have discovered so many stone tools used by early man. Okay, so on the basis of those stone tools, we can say that Stone Age culture appeared in India. Okay, so here you can write in archaeological site of Bori, Pune district, Maharashtra. You can write in this that the record, what? The record has been found related to the early tools made of stone used in India. Okay, so from the archaeological site of Bori, Pune district, Maharashtra, we have found record. Okay, record has been found, and the record is related to the early tools made of stone used in India. Okay, so from the site of Bori, we have found heaps of tools of stone. Okay, so these tools were used by primitive man in India. So in India, the species of human being came and they started making stone tools. They started hunting, gathering the food. Okay, so those tools have been discovered. From the archaeological site of Bori, Pune district, Maharashtra. Okay, so the record has been found related to the early tools made of stone used in India. Okay, now next is for what purpose these tools were used. For what purpose these tools were used by primitive man. So as you know that at that time agriculture was not developed, means agriculture did not come into existence. At that time agriculture did not come into existence. People didn't know how to do agriculture. So the people had no knowledge of cultivation. The people had no knowledge of agriculture. So that is why the primitive man used these tools for hunting animals and gathering foods. Okay. So the tools of stone, the tools of stone were used for hunting, for hunting and gathering. Okay. So we are actually talking about this stone age, that how can you say that stone age existed in India? So we have so many evidences, but here I will explain two evidence, and those evidence are very important. So here I just explain to you the first evidence. So the first evidence related to this stone age we have found from the archaeological site of Bori, Pune district, Maharashtra. Okay. So here we have found so many early tools made of stone, and these tools of stones were used by primitive man for hunting and gathering in order for survival, for their survival purpose. Okay. So here I have just explained to you the first evidence. Okay. First evidence on the basis of which you can say that stone age existed in India. Now I will explain you the second evidence. Okay. Second evidence related to this stone age existed in India. So here the second evidence is okay. Now let us understand the second evidence. Okay. Second evidence is Robert Bruce Foote. Second evidence we have Robert Bruce Foote. Robert Bruce Foote. Who this man is? So Robert Bruce Foote was from England. Robert Bruce Foote was from England. He was a geologist. Geologist means those who are expert in studying the remains of animals, the skeletons of human beings. Okay. So Robert Bruce Foote, he was from England. So Robert Bruce Foote was a geologist or an archaeologist. So Robert Bruce Foote was a geologist, or you can say archaeologist. Archaeologist, I just told you about this archaeologist. I have told you, archaeologists who carry out the digging of the earth, and the old things are unearthed, and then the old things are studied and then history is presented. Okay, so this Robert Bruce Foote, he came from England. At that time India was the colony of Britishers. So in colonial India, Robert Bruce Foote came from England, and he was a geologist or archaeologist. Okay, archaeologist. So he just joined ASI department in India. So this ASI department means Archaeological Survey of India. Okay, so the ASI department, the work includes like carrying out the research, carrying out the digging of the earth, okay, collecting the old things, and then send those old things to the scholars, historians, and those historians start make history. Okay, so ASI department, Archaeological Survey of India, this department actually discovers the old things, and then history is presented on the basis of those old things, means after carrying out the research on those old things, history is presented. Okay, so Robert Bruce Foote, he came from England in colonial India. He was a geologist, archaeologist, and he joined ASI. He joined ASI. ASI means archaeological archaeological Survey of India. Robert Bruce Foote, he came from England. He was a geologist, archaeologist. Okay, then in India, Robert Bruce Foote joined ASI, Archaeological Survey of India. This department was created by Britishers in India because at that time India was colony of Britishers. Okay, so Robert Bruce Foote joined ASI, Archaeological Survey of India in 1858. And then this Robert Bruce Foote was posted to Chennai, which is located in Tamil Nadu. Okay, then he was posted to Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Okay, so the first evidence related to this stone is ever existed in India. So the first evidence we found from the archaeological site of Bori, Pune district, Maharashtra. From there we have discovered so many tools made of stone, and those tools were used for hunting and gathering by primitive man. Okay, we have another evidence here, and in the form of evidence, Robert Bruce Foote is here. So Robert Bruce Foote came from England. Okay, he was a geologist, archaeologist. He in 1858, Robert Bruce Foote joined ASI department in India, and then Robert Bruce Foote was posted to Chennai, Tamil Nadu. And in Chennai, this Robert Bruce Foote in Chennai, this Robert Bruce Foote discovered a stone tool, and the stone tool was hand axe. From where? From the site of Pallavaram. Pallavaram. When? In 1862. Remember, UPSC sometimes asks question from this line. I'm just going to write this line. Okay. So this Robert Bruce Putte, when he was posted to Chennai, so at the site of Pallavaram, this Robert Bruce Putte discovered first stone tool, and that first stone tool was hand axe. Hand axe was used there for digging the earth by early man. Okay, so this is very important, discovery related to this stone age. So this testified that stone age existed in India. So here I just write here that Robert Bruce Putte means he discovered a stone tool, hand axe, hand axe from the site of Pallavaram, in 1863. This date is very important. In 1863, okay, he discovered a stone tool, hand axe, from the site of Pallavaram in 1863 from Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Okay, this is the second evidence that we found. Okay, so in second evidence you can say Robert Bruce Putte, he came from England. He was a geologist, archaeologist. He joined ASI department in 1858. Then he was posted to Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and by living there in Chennai, he discovered the first stone tool. He discovered a stone tool related to this stone age, that is hand axe. Hand axe from which site? From the site of Pallavaram. This is very important because UPSC asks question from here. So he discovered a stone tool, hand axe. Hand axe was used for digging the earth. Okay, so hand axe from the site of Pallavaram in which year? 1863. Okay, from Chennai, Tamil Nadu. So this is the second evidence. So far I have covered history. History is divided into three main parts. Prehistory, I have taught you. Proto-history, I have taught you. History, I have taught you. Okay, now we are understanding here that how you can say that stone age culture or stone age ever existed in India. So we have just taught you, we have just provided you two evidence. On the basis of those evidence, we can say that stone age existed in India. The first evidence is the archaeological site of Bori, Pune district, Maharashtra. So from there, we have discovered so many tools, and those tools were used by early men for hunting and gathering. Okay, the second evidence is Robert Bruce Putte. He joined ASI department in 1858. Then he was posted to Chennai, Madras, Tamil Nadu. Okay, and there at the site of Pallavaram, he discovered a stone tool, hand axe, which was used by early men for digging the earth, and the axe was discovered from the site of Pallavaram, and the site of Pallavaram is located in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Okay, so here UPSC asks question from that who was Robert Bruce Putte? So Robert Bruce Putte was an archaeologist. Okay, an archaeologist. From which place Robert Bruce Putte discovered hand axe. So you must know that Robert Bruce Putte discovered hand axe from the site of Pallavaram. Where this site of Pallavaram is located? So this site of Pallavaram is located in Chennai, or you can say Madras. Madras is the old name of Chennai. Okay. And in which year Robert Bruce Putte discovered hand axe from Pallavaram? So you must know that Robert Bruce Putte discovered hand axe from the site of Pallavaram in the year 1863. 1863. So sometimes date is also asked. Okay. So I have just provided the evidence, two evidence, okay, which testify that Stone Age existed in India. Okay. Now let us understand what exactly the Stone Age is. Okay. So in order to study Stone Age culture, it is divided into again three main parts. So let us understand how. Stone Age culture. Stone Age culture. I just told you history is divided into three main parts: prehistory, proto-history, and history. These are actually the broad terms used in history, and UPSC asks question from these three terms: prehistory, proto-history, and history. So I have already told you prehistory, proto-history, and history. Then I told you the evidence on the basis of which you can say that Stone Age culture existed in India. So I have given you two evidence. First evidence is the archaeological site of Bori, Pune district, Maharashtra, from where we have discovered so many tools made of stone, and those tools were used for hunting and gathering. Okay. Second evidence I provided you Robert Bruce Putte. Robert Bruce Putte discovered stone axe from the site of Pallavaram in 1863. Okay, that is the second evidence. You can say that Stone Age culture existed in India. Now here is Stone Age culture. So in order to study the Stone Age culture, this Stone Age culture is broadly divided into broadly divided into three main parts. Okay. So here this Stone Age culture is broadly, in order to study this Stone Age culture, this is broadly divided into three main parts. The first part is Paleolithic age. The first part is Paleolithic age. Paleolithic age. Paleolithic age. Paleolithic age. This is the term Paleolithic used in history, but in general term you can say Old Stone Age. Old Stone Age. You can say what? Old Stone Age. Right? Old Stone Age. The time period given for this Paleolithic age or Old Stone Age is how much? 5 lakh. How much? 5 lakh BC to 50,000 BC. 5 lakh BC to 50,000 BC. So Stone Age culture is broadly divided into three main parts. In order to study it, in order to go in detail, it is divided into three parts. Okay, first is Paleolithic age, Old Stone Age, time period from 5 lakh BC to 50,000 BC is given for this Paleolithic age. Now the second is Mesolithic age. Mesolithic age. In general term, you can say Middle Stone Age. Middle Stone Age. Okay, and the time period given for this Mesolithic age or Middle Stone Age is 9000 BC to 4000 BC. Okay, 9000 BC to 4000 BC. Remember, this is the exact date given in your NCERT. So whatever the date I mentioned here, you can verify the date in your NCERT. Okay, so you have to follow always the date given in your NCERT book. Okay, so Stone Age culture is divided into three main parts. Three parts: Paleolithic age 5 lakh BC to 50,000 BC. Second is Mesolithic age, Middle Stone Age 9000 BC to 4000 BC. And third is Neolithic age. Neolithic age. And the general term for this Neolithic age is New Stone Age. New Stone Age. New Stone Age. And the time period given for this Neolithic age is 5000 BC to 1800 BC. Okay, 5000 BC to 1800 BC. Okay, so this is Stone Age culture. In order to go in detail, in order to make detailed study of this Stone Age culture, this is divided into three main parts. First is Paleolithic age, Old Stone Age, Mesolithic age, Middle Stone Age, Neolithic age, New Stone Age. Okay, okay. Now again, in order to understand this Paleolithic age, okay, in order to understand this Paleolithic age, so this Paleolithic age is also divided into three main parts. This Paleolithic age is also divided into three main parts. Okay. So here this Paleolithic age is also divided into three main parts. So three main parts here. First is Lower Paleolithic age. First is Lower Paleolithic age. Lower Paleolithic age, or you can say Lower Stone Age. Lower Stone Age. Lower Stone Age. Time period. Lower Paleolithic age, Lower Stone Age. Time period 5 lakh BC. Okay, so your Paleolithic age, Old Stone Age, starts from 5 lakh BC to 10,000 BC to 10,000 BC. 5 lakh BC, I just correct it. Paleolithic age 5 lakh BC to 10,000 BC. Okay. Okay. So lower Paleolithic, this Paleolithic age is divided into again three main parts: lower Paleolithic age, lower Stone Age, and the time period is how much? How much? 5 lakh. 5 lakh BC to 50,000 BC. 5 lakh BC to 50,000 BC. Okay, this Paleolithic age is again divided into three parts: lower Paleolithic age, lower Stone Age, 5 lakh BC to 50,000 BC. Now second is middle Paleolithic age or middle Stone Age. Middle Stone Age. Okay, 50,000 BC to 40,000 BC. Okay, so second is when you categorize this Paleolithic age, so it is categorized into three parts. First is lower Paleolithic age, lower Stone Age, 5 lakh BC to 50,000 BC. Then second is middle Paleolithic age, middle Stone Age, 50,000 BC to 40,000 BC. And third is upper Paleolithic age. Upper Paleolithic age. Upper Stone Age. Upper Stone Age. Time period 40,000. Time period 40,000 BC to 10,000 BC. Okay, so in order to study Stone Age culture, this Stone Age culture is broadly divided into three main parts: Paleolithic age, Mesolithic age, Neolithic age. Okay, again in order to study this Paleolithic age, this is again divided. Paleolithic age is divided into three different parts. First is lower Paleolithic age, lower Stone Age, that starts from 5 lakh BC to 50,000 BC. Second is middle Paleolithic age, middle Stone Age, that starts from 50,000 BC to 40,000 BC. And third is upper Paleolithic age, upper Stone Age, that starts from 40,000 BC to 10,000 BC. Okay, so in order to finish with this Stone Age culture, you have to study Paleolithic age, Mesolithic age, Neolithic age, and in Paleolithic age, lower Paleolithic age, middle Paleolithic age, and upper Paleolithic age. Okay, so here we have 5 topics to cover with. Here we have 5 topics to cover with this Stone Age culture. First topic is lower Paleolithic age, then middle Paleolithic age, then upper Paleolithic age. After completing these 3, you complete your Paleolithic age, then Mesolithic age, then Neolithic age. Lower Paleolithic age 1, middle Paleolithic age 2, upper Paleolithic age 3, and then Mesolithic age 4, and then Neolithic age 5. So you have to cover these 5 topics in Stone Age culture. Only then you can say that Stone Age culture has been completed. Okay, so after I finished this Stone Age culture, I will start with the second chapter, and that second chapter is Chalcolithic age. At the end of this Stone Age, the primitive man found one metal, and that metal was copper. So copper was also used along with this stone. So that is why the period was called as Copper Stone Age. Okay, so let us understand the first topic in Stone Age culture, And the first topic is lower Paleolithic age. Okay, lower Paleolithic age. So now understand lower Paleolithic age. Lower Paleolithic age. Lower Paleolithic age. Okay. Hmm. Lower Paleolithic age or lower stone age. Okay, lower stone age. So lower Paleolithic age or lower stone age is the first phase of the stone age culture. Okay, so in this lower Paleolithic age we will study how early man used to live, what they used to eat, their lifestyle. Okay, what was their lifestyle, how was their lifestyle. Okay, so in lower Paleolithic age, first of all, the early men, the people had no knowledge of cultivation. So the first point you can mention here in lower Paleolithic age, that at that time the people had no knowledge of cultivation. What you can write? First point you can write that people had first point you can write that the people had no knowledge of cultivation. People had no knowledge of in lower Paleolithic age. The first point you can mention that in lower Paleolithic age people had no knowledge of cultivation, because cultivation did not start in this period. This cultivation started in the Neolithic period. Okay, so we will understand how this cultivation started in Neolithic period. So first point is people had no knowledge of cultivation. Second is where the people used to live. In lower Paleolithic age, at what place the people used to live. So people used to live in rock shelters and caves. Okay, in rock shelters and caves, people, the early man, the primitive man, used to reside in rock shelters and caves. So primitive man primitive man primitive man means early man, old man, adi manav. Okay, so primitive man used to live in rock shelters and caves. Rock shelters and caves. Okay, and in in Paleolithic age, people used to go for hunting. Okay, so for hunting they used to make tools by using stone. So here you must mention what type of stone people use for making the tools. So here a hard rock, hard stone, which is known as quartzite stone. So here a hard stone, quartzite stone, was used by early man, primitive man, for making the tools, and the tools were used for hunting and gathering. Okay, so here third point you can write, the people use stone used for making tools. Stone used for making tools was quartzite, hard stone. Quartzite means hard stone. Okay, so stone used for making tools, was quartzite, hard stone. That is why, because in lower Paleolithic age people made maximum use of quartzite stone for making their tools. That is why they people were called as quartzite man. So sometimes UPSC asks questions कि among all the options who were called as quartzite man. Okay, so that is why they were called as quartzite man. Quartzite man. So this is very important. Okay, who were called as quartzite man? So the people of lower Paleolithic age were called as quartzite man. Okay, now the fourth point you can write here. Okay, the name of the tools used by these people for hunting and gathering. Okay, so the tools were like chopper, chopper was used for chopping. Tools were like chopper for chopping. Okay, cleaver. So the tool of cleaver was used for skinning the skin of animal. Okay, the tools were like chopper for chopping, cleaver for skinning, and hand axe for digging the earth. Okay, so in lower Paleolithic age, early man, primitive man used tools made of stone like chopper for chopping, cleaver for skinning the dead animal, and hand axe for digging the earth. Okay, and their lifestyle was How was their lifestyle? So the food was obtained. How was their lifestyle? So their lifestyle was like food was obtained by hunting animals and gathering foods. Okay, so all the day the food was obtained by hunting animals and gathering food. So the primitive man used to go from one place to another in search of food. So for that purpose they used to hunt the animals, or they used to collect the eatable plants, eatable foods. Okay, so that is why due to this activity they were also called as hunter gatherer people, hunter gatherers. So this is also asked in question by UPSC, who were called as hunter gatherer. So the people of lower Paleolithic age were called as hunter gatherer. Okay, so food was obtained by hunting animals and gathering food. So they were called as hunter gatherer. Okay, so these are the points you can include, you can write in lower Paleolithic age. In lower Paleolithic age, we have also discovered some sites from where we find the evidence related to this lower Paleolithic age. Okay, so in sites you can write sites. Okay, sites. First site is Soan Valley. First site is Soan or Sohan Valley. This Soan or Soan Valley is located where? Located where? Punjab. Which Punjab? Which Punjab? The Punjab which is located in Pakistan. Okay, which is located in Pakistan. So related to the Paleolithic age, we have some sites. So one site is Soan or Sohan Valley, which is located in Punjab, Pakistan. So from this site we have discovered a lot of things related to lower Paleolithic age people, related to the people of lower Paleolithic age. We have second site, and that second site is Sohan Valley, Punjab, Pakistan. Okay, and then second site is we have Belan Valley. Second site we have Belan Valley. Okay, this Belan Valley is located in Mirzapur district, Uttar Pradesh. Okay, Mirzapur district in Uttar Pradesh. So these are the two sites have been discovered from where we have evidence related to the lower Paleolithic age, or you can say early Paleolithic age. Lower Paleolithic age is also called as early Paleolithic age. Okay, so far we have completed about history. History is divided into three main parts. In order to study history, history is divided into three main parts: prehistory, protohistory, history. Then I have told you two evidences with which you can say that Stone Age culture existed in India. The first evidence was archaeological site of Bori, Pune district, Maharashtra, from where we have discovered so many tools made of stone, and those stone tools were used for hunting and gathering by primitive man. Okay, and the second evidence, we have Robert Bruce Putte, who discovered stone axe from the site of Pallavaram in 1863, Chennai, Madras, Tamil Nadu. Okay, and then we studied that Stone Age culture is broadly divided into three main parts. In order to go into detail of Stone Age culture, Stone Age culture was divided into three main parts: Paleolithic age, Mesolithic age, Neolithic age. I have already given the date for all the three ages. In Paleolithic age is divided into three main parts: Lower Paleolithic age, okay, and Middle Paleolithic age and Upper Paleolithic age. And I have explained on the board about the Lower Paleolithic age. So in Lower Paleolithic age, I have told you that people had no knowledge of cultivation, agriculture. They used to live in rock caves. They used to live in rock shelters and caves. They use quartzite stone, a hard stone. They use quartzite stone, hard stone, for making their tools. So that is why they were called as quartzite man. And then the food was obtained by hunting the animals and gathering eatable foods. And we have also provided you related to the Lower Stone Age, Paleolithic age sites, two sites: Sohan Valley, Belan Valley. Sohan Valley is in Punjab, Pakistan. Belan Valley in Mirzapur district, Uttar Pradesh. From these two sites, we have discovered so many things related to the Paleolithic age. So on the basis of these sites, you can say that Lower Paleolithic age existed in India and the activities they perform. Okay, so because time is over, so the class was for 1.5 hours. So 1.5 hours completed. So I stop your class here. In the next class, we will continue our second lecture on history. Okay, so thank you for watching.